Tommy.
There you go, go.
So Tommy, you've just exited from the court. Can you describe exactly what went on in the court?
I moan a lot about judges, but the judge today attempted to defend free speech. The prosecution, the state, wished to impose conditions which, as he said, his words not mine, curtail free speech. They wanted to be able to gag me totally so that I could not discuss anything about this case. But they also, my bail conditions would have meant that if you discussed anything about this case, they could essentially hold me on remand in prison. So the judge said it was too wide-ranging. He didn't agree with it, and then he told the prosecution you need to re-evaluate what you're asking for because it is a curtailment of free speech. So yeah, and then I've been given now the opportunity to have a jury trial. I've never had that. Go and read my conviction list. Yeah? What they do every time, and the state did it again today. What they do every time is they drop it, they charge you, and then they drop it so that you can't have a jury trial. And the state said, we don't want it to go to a jury trial today. We're happy and content for it to be heard at the lesser charge. So you have different grades of this charge that they've charged me with. We're happy for it to be at the lesser level because then you don't get a jury. But then the judge gave me the option of what I want. I said I want to be tried by 12 members of the British public. I want them to hear the evidence in this case. I want them to see the behaviour of what's happened to me, the way that the mainstream media have behaved in this. He did give me conditions, so he has given me conditions which I don't want to breach,
of course,
which still do, I feel, still do curtail my speech, but he didn't want them to totally curtail it. So yeah, I don't...
Tell me, what are your conditions?
My conditions are not to mention the names of these individuals. My conditions are not to go into, I believe, details of what's happened. It's exactly, I thought I'd come out of here and might be able to tell people, explain to people what's gone on. Yeah? So if I wasn't able to do that, which I'm now not, then the cameras in my face now from the establishment media will today run headlines across the country which would imply something that hasn't happened. So then they win anyway. So you're in a war where they'll attack you with their lies, they'll attack you with their smears, they'll attack you with your time is spent fighting. They said, so now we go to Crown Court on the 3rd of July, that's Southwark. They believe it will be shifted to the Old Bailey, which is insane. There'll probably be 30 murder trials plus me for asking journalists a question. I think the reality is, when you turn that camera on the mainstream media, they don't like what they see. And that's all I've attempted to do. Say, oh yeah, I'm going to ask you some questions now. And they don't want to be asked questions. And do you know why they don't want to be asked questions? Because they have never been asked questions. They have acted with impunity. They've lied, they've smeared, they've attacked. But everyone knows they've lied. I was looking up prior to this at the trust in media across the whole of the European nations, all the European countries. Britain, the British public, have the least trust. Not the former communist states, where they know that the media lie, but the British public are now totally awake to the bullshit being fed to them. And their ability to spoon feed their narrative into the public is gone due to, look around you at these cameras, look, due to these cameras. These cameras, social media, I think if you're sitting at home in the public and you're wondering what role you have to play in what's currently happening, which is a mass awakening of populism, of nationalism, of pride, of patriotism, and it's a tidal wave that they can't stop. If you want to know what role you play, you just need to share it. You need to talk, you need to not curtail your speech, you need to speak freely about all these issues. And unfortunately, they wish to put people like me on trial. I'm on trial for guilty of two things, is being a decade ahead and talking about the issues a decade before. And the people who attract me to discussing these options, these problems, are now sitting on mainstream TV shows acting like they're bringing it to life. I say, hold on, you've crucified us, you've attacked us, but the establishment control the media, they don't want us having a voice. I have to be careful what I say, but we will now have the opportunity to have a Crown Court trial where thankfully, due to citizen journalism, it won't just be the Daily Mail or the BBC sitting in court. It will be 20 upcoming, rising citizen journalists who are building their own mass followings, who are taking the war, because we're at war, it's a propaganda war being fed, being waged against us by the establishment and the controlled media. And there's a war going on, and the way we fight that is through citizen journalism. And it's good times.
How many days have been set aside for the trial? And are you looking forward for the first time to be going before a jury?
Do you know what? When they come in with these charges when I was in custody, I thought, again, I just need a bit of a break from it. But then I can get myself in the mindset of I have to take every opportunity. As a journalist, I took the opportunity of going to prison. I thought, I'm a journalist. Do you know how many stories I've got to tell from prison? They give me the education, they give me the opportunity to make contact, to make inroads, to understand what's happening in the prison system. I'm going to take this opportunity to put the establishment media and their behaviour and their morality on trial for the British public.
Before you go, Tommy, if you can hold that.
You love these,
We
don't you?
got the Urban Scoop t-shirt. and I just want you to hold
Can I
it.
ask, is that a Slazenger logo? I'm not wearing it.
No, I just want you to hold it. Because it,
Urban Scoop, by the people, for the people, citizen journalism. Get behind not just Urban Scoop if you're watching this. Any podcaster, anyone who's uncontrollable, anyone who doesn't need sponsorship, get behind them, the up and coming, the people who are bringing out and live streaming, share their content, subscribe to them, cancel your Netflix, cancel your Amazons, cancel your BBC, cancel all of them. Get behind the ground, people coming from the ground.
Tommy, we hear you're being...
Got it? You got it?
big up.
Buy these at wendell.com.
Tom, there's obviously hundreds of people that's come out to support
Tom,
you
can
today.
you
What's your
sign my
message to
book?
them?
My message to them is people have come from far and wide, and I've had people come up to me.
Oh, you're a star
It feels
too,
great.
Wendell.
I'm sorry it's raining. I'm sorry you've travelled all this way for this quick moment. But so you know, I feel absolute love. That's all I've felt the whole time. Every time I go anywhere, I feel love. Do you know how many people have stopped me in the streets since I just got out of jail? Pulling over in cars, giving me hugs. Everywhere I've gone. So again, it's not working. These attacks. I just think when I come out of here again, I think you've now put free speech on trial again. You idiots. You've just done it. I'm walking out. You're doing it again. Because that's what this is. This is the ability to ask the question: is are we allowed as citizens to ask journalists questions? That's all. That's all.
Tommy,
Are we allowed to?
what's your opinion on the judge today and how it went?
My opinion is he was fair. My opinion is he was fair. The judge was fair. He stood in to stop the state containing totally free speech. He made the point, if I'm reading this isn't right, you cannot use these conditions on him. This will prohibit him talking at all. And he will go to jail if he talks. And that's what they were asking for. Say that out loud, that's what they were asking for. They were asking to try and take away my speech based on this case. They put it in a category 2, which is, they're saying jail. So consequences are this are jail. This is about causing fear. The establishment media have harassed, persecuted and targeted, not just me. And I've said it time and time again, you want to target me, target me. I'm a big man, but I'm not a big man. You can do that, but when you start targeting innocent members of my family or friends, you publish images of them that was not needed. You don't need to publish images of innocent people in articles about me. If you want to lie to the public, and when you lie, I just now pull out this, press one speak, I get more views than you.
Tommy, one of your fans wanted to sign his book.
Yeah, Tommy, nice one.
So Tommy's now going to sign a book for one of his fans.
What do I think? They're going to be shocked at what they find. There is no freedom of speech.
To George, Tommy.
There is no freedom.
Big up, George.
Big up, George. Tommy, you're a superstar.
There is no freedom.
Thanks, Wendell. You are
They'll see
diamonds.
that.
Cheers,
Free
buddy.
loose economy. Do you know how many British people are sitting rotting in jails for things they've said on Facebook? I think if you look at the arrest rate, our government moan about Russia, they moan about China, they moan about North Korea, they moan about these countries. The arrest rate of the people who've been prosecuted for words said on social media in this country far exceeds all of those countries put together. Okay? And the reason is because they're terrified. They're terrified of the public hearing what's going on, seeing what's going on, making up their own mind. They don't. Most of this has not been about censoring people like, not slightly, look, Katie, because all these different people have been censored and have been censored, all of them for years. It's not about destroying us, it's about lying to you. They just want to lie to you. They just want to deceive you. They want to lie to you about the riots, the purpose of the riots. They want to lie to you about the vaccines. They want to lie to you about COVID. They lie to you about everything. The European Union, everything's a lie. And they don't want you to find out the truth, unfortunately, to find out. And the more they see, the more they're unhappy.
So what do you think is when Trump said that he wants to connect the tariff contracts with the freedom of speech in the UK?
Well, Britain's going to go bankrupt then, isn't it? Britain's going to go bankrupt. They don't care about free speech. Keir Starmer's government, if you look at our Attorney General, go back through his history, look at what he's done, where he's come from, and the groups he's aligned with. They are Marxists, they despise free speech. They despise nationalism, they despise patriotism, they despise Britain. They are globalists who are thinking of the world and the world plan that they see, and anyone who gets in the way of that is a fascist. Anyone who loves their country or flag is a fascist. That's it.
Before you go, Tommy, an amazing event is being planned on the 13th of September. Tell us about that.
13th of September is going to be the biggest free speech event the world has seen. Okay, and it's going to be happening in our capital in London. And that is perfect, it's brilliant. We're going to have leading representatives coming in from European countries. We made a vote in Britain to leave with Brexit. That wasn't a vote against European countries. Okay, we still have love for Europeans. We just despise the European Union and the dictatorship of it. So what we're going to do is, because free speech is under attack, not just here. There is no free speech in Europe. There's no free speech anywhere in the world apart from America. Okay, and they've wished to curtail even that through big tech. They've tried to. So on the 13th of September, we're going to have a celebration. We're going to have a party. It's happening in capital city. It's going to be beautiful. Bring your families, bring your children, and it's going to be a celebration of free speech. And it's going to be us fighting back. And the only weapon we have this, which is, do you know what? The weapon of this and the camera. Facing jail, But we have a weapon of fighting back, and that is to express our free speech and also show people who we are, not who they say they are. And so many people see who we are and see their lives. So if you're supporting me, I just want to say thank you to anyone who, people who vote to me. They've all travelled here today. People who vote to me in jail. I wish I could thank every single person.
Travel from Liverpool today.
Travel from Liverpool. Oh, you Billy.
Big up Billy.
Hold on. How are you getting on?
I suppose you can take a step to the left, can you, Wendell? Can you take a step to the left?